thanks very much. I hope this works. I hope you will not be disappointed. Today I decided to be maybe even a little bit simplistic, political in the first half of the talk, and then gradually to approach the theoretical topic, which for me, I was avoiding it for a long time. It is crucial. Namely, what to do today with Marxist theory, especially with what is its core critique of political economy. I mean, I'm tired of people who, including myself, who all the time refer to Marx, Capital, and so on, but don't approach head-on this key problem. My God, Marx didn't write a treatise on cultural criticism, etc. It was meant to be a book analyzing actual trends of capitalist society, and so on and so on. So, what to do, or can we do anything at all to make it of any use today, and how to do it? I would like to begin with at the anecdotal level, just pure masochism, but with this then I will use this to approach my starting point, ideology today. Maybe some of you already heard about it, like in the last issue of the New Republic. There is a delicious detailed attack on me. The title is The Deadly Jester. The subtitle then tells it all. The most despisable philosopher in the world. And I mean, it's really, I think, a sign, one of the signs that the class struggle in economy and in life is aggravating itself, because, no, quite naively, I mean, I am not even sure if I will answer it. But nonetheless, how should I put it, the degree of pure personal aggressivity and of faking quotes and so on reached a breathtaking level here. So I advise you even to read it as a kind of a test. I mean, if you read it and you will say, because I think the guy is counting on this, for you to say, okay, maybe there are some manipulations here or there with quotes, but all in all, my God, so much stuff, you know. You usually, again, have the stupid proverbs, like when there is smoke, there must be fire. So something must be, if you are tempted by these, then, well then, nice to have seen you, maybe. Look, just the culminating quote towards the end. I will just read it, then give you the key to it. I quote, in defense of lost causes, again paraphrasing Badiou, Zizek writes, quote from me, allegedly. To put it succinctly, the only true solution to the Jewish question is the final solution, their annihilation. Because Jews are the ultimate obstacle to the final solution of history itself, to the overcoming of divisions in an all-encompassing unity and flexibility. End of quote from me. Then the text goes on. I hasten to add that Zizek descends from Badiou's vision to this extent. He believes that Jews, quote from me, resisting identification with the state of Israel, the Jews of the Jews themselves, the worthy successors to Spinoza, end of quote, deserve to be exempted from this total annihilation on account of their, again, quotation marks, quote from me, fidelity to their messianic impulse. I mean, it's just breathtaking. If some of you read some of my work, you may even remember where this first quote comes. I'm not paraphrasing Badiou, but I'm just resuming, describing the position of Jean-Claude Milner in his book, Criminal Tendencies of the Democratic Europe. Milner's thesis is a very radical Zionist one. It is that the modern democratic Europe, today, European Union and so on, is, he uses this Clausewitz metaphor, a prolongation of Hitler, of Nazism with other myths. That is the same project that anti-Semitism is not a marginal contingent feature emerging here and there. It's inscribed into the very project of European Union. Jews are the principal obstacle. They have to be eliminated. This is how Milner perceives modern democratic Europe. Now, in a way which totally goes beyond my comprehension, this guy Kirsch, which means cherry, incidentally, this guy then claims that I, with sympathy, paraphrase here Badiou, but that I have only one proviso. You know, he tries to be honest all the time, like, no, he doesn't claim this here. My proviso is that Jews should be killed, annihilated, but not all. those who are critical of Israel, they should be left alive. And then he goes on simply quoting me when I simply describe this, the position of those Jews who are critical towards Israel. And of course, this has nothing to do with Milner. I do this in a totally different part of the book, and so on and so on. And again, the whole, it's absolutely breathtaking. The whole text is like this. What are these kind of attacks an indication of? Because it's not only this, it's also, if I may compare myself with big figures, that I was shocked by the brutal violence, for example, lately in the United States. He's almost becoming a pariah of the attacks on Jimmy Carter, ex-president, because of his book Palestina, I don't know what, democracy, whatever, not apartheid or whatever. Just because the book compares what the state of Israel is doing on the West Bank to apartheid. In very soft terms, he doesn't claim they are like Nazis who want to eliminate, kill the Palestinians. Just he sees traces of apartheid policy. What is going on here? I think what we should directly address question is, where do we really differ? I think we differ in the very basic topography, cognitive mapping of the situation. Of course, today's field is vaguely, abstractly divided into, let's call it, liberal center, populist right, and whatever remains of the left. But how do we relate these three terms to each other? The old Marxist thesis, elaborated among others by Walter Benjamin and so on, is every rise of fascism bears witness to a failed revolution. And I think this insight not only still holds today, but is more pertinent than ever today. Liberals like to point out similarities between left and right extremisms. Hitler's terrors and concentration camps imitated Bolshevik terror. The Leninist party is today alive in Al-Qaeda, as we learned from Simon Critchley. Yes, but what does all this mean? It can also be read the way I would have read it, as an indication of how fascism literally replaces, takes the place of the leftist revolution. Its rise is the left's failure, but simultaneously a proof that there was a revolutionary potential, dissatisfaction which the left failed to properly mobilize. And I think exactly the same thing holds for today's so-called, by some people, not by me, Islamofascism. Is the rise of radical Islamism not exactly correlative to the disappearance of the secular left in Muslim countries? For example, today when Afghanistan is portrayed as the utmost Islamic fundamentalist country, who still remembers that 30, 40 years ago, it was a country before even the Soviet invasion? Do you remember? Okay, you don't, but some of us do. That it was a country with strong secular tradition, up to a powerful communist party which took power there independently of the Soviet Union. So it wasn't, whatever this means, a fundamentalist country at all. The king was a kind of a enlightened pro-Western despot, like a softer version of the Shah of Iran, trying to enlighten the people and so on. It was again one of the least fundamentalists of the Islamic countries. Where did this secular tradition disappear? So you see my point, that Afghanistan, it's not that they are a big backwards country. Literally, through their very inclusion into being drawn into the global politics, they were fundamentalized, as it were. It's not that it was in their nature. On the opposite, if, okay, I use this nonsensical term, in their nature, that's to say, in their historical tradition of the last decades, if anything, they were absolutely the opposite. In Europe, exactly the same goes for Bosnia today. Back in the 70s and 80s, Bosnia and Herzegovina, as ex-Yugoslav republic, was multiculturally the most interesting, alive, cinema school, unique style of rock music, and so on and so on. In today's Bosnia, there effectively are strong fundamentalist forces. Unfortunately, it was reported probably also here in the media, for example, a couple of months ago, I think, there was a gay parade in Sarajevo, which was violently attacked by some Wahhabis, whatever, so-called Islamic fundamentalists.